some, and a lot of songs from my session works, because I play for other bands, actually many bands, and I always make sure that the style is way different than Nile. So I don't want to play what I play for Nile. So everything else I do is from rock to funk, metal, epic metal, speed metal, heavy metal. And I have a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing different styles. It really helps me with my musical skills. To perform something is one thing, but to write is another thing. And obviously, I don't want to be, just to look in one side only. I want to be a little bit more educated about music. So I try to play more stuff, and I try to, with my session work, which is work anyways. So yeah, it's fun. Now, you wanna hear some more songs? Yeah. Should I play? Certainly. Huh? Communication of the Wicked. I don't have this one. I don't have it either. No, Black Seeds. I have Black Seeds. Yeah. Yes. But I'm gonna play you Smashing the Ante. Yes. It's all good. It's fun. So yeah, let me play a couple more songs, and then we'll get to any questions. If you guys have any questions, or do you have any questions now about drums, about the band, about touring? Think a little bit more. So I mean, you don't have to ask anything, but if you have a question, this is the place. And not later on, I'll be drinking beers. So no drumming questions. But it's all right. I know I'm going to get questions anyway, so feel free. I'm a drummer junkie. I love drums. I love talking drums. So yeah, anything. Okay, let me play some more. Merci beaucoup. So, where's my beer? No. Later. Okay, so, any questions now? I think you guys are here to watch, mostly. Yeah, which is fine with me. I'll play some more. Heel toe, foot technique. Yes. Now, let me show you. I'm going to leave the mic here. Close your mouth. Oh, what is this? Okay, is it on? Hello? Yes. So, can we bring maybe the speaker a little closer? On stage. Okay, so, foot technique. Okay, you all know this. There are two kinds of foot technique. The heel down, with this part, it's called the heel. Right? Down. So, when you play like a bebop, you play really soft. You know? And fast as well, you know, with this one. And the other one is the traditional, the heel up as we know it, okay? But the old school heel up used to be like this. So it was like, mostly like, you didn't use this part here, okay? So it was more like playing a full leg motion. So, you know, many drummers, I don't want to say names now because I see many cameras, but you know, they use this type of technique, okay? And this can get you up to a point, not, in my opinion, not faster than 210 BPM, okay? That's a wall you're gonna face there because, you know, the body just, that's the way it works. It can go faster, like this. And if you see some videos of some old school drummers, they try to go faster and they're like this, you know, pushing with the leg, hold the leg, okay? The motion gets, you know, instead of, you know, gets really tiny, you know. And this, actually, this part tries to move, so it's kind of like your body is trying to tell you something, like, dude, work some ankles, otherwise, you know, it just doesn't work. And the way I play is the way most of the drummers play, especially the drummers who go up to 210 BPM, okay? And this is, again, the heel up, but I call it the modern heel up, okay? Which looks like heel down, so it's still heel up. I mean, it's never like this, okay? It's like this, heels in the air. But I'm not playing like this. I'm playing like this. Okay? Kind of like the whipping motion, free stroke. It's like a wave. You know, I mean, in my opinion, if you play heel down, it's, you know, and translate it to the hand technique, will be this. You know, that's what you can do with heel down. If you play heel up, the traditional, it's you play like this. You know, I mean, like this. Okay? So, I mean, I can use arm motion, like this, arm motion, and, no, it's okay, no problem. Arm motion and wrist motion too. Okay? And all this becomes this. Okay? All the motion. So if you translate it on your leg, it's not like this. It's like you have grapes and you know, the grapes to make the wine. So it's like you need a little bit more technique. And this is how it works. I use all the leg, but I use a lot of ankle motion. And I try to get the feet as far as possible. And without pushing too much, I get more power. And speed. I can do this for 3 days in a row. So, that's the way we play. It's like a more smooth motion in my opinion. It looks like heel down, but it's not heel down, it's heel up. There's a lot of swiveling going on in my playing, which is another thing. It might help you a little bit with your balance, and maybe you think it helps in speed, but it doesn't really do much stuff other than look cool or something, you know? So instead of pushing this part down, I do this too, the wave. So, yeah, this pad, you know, it hits the nose is like unbelievable right now. You know, like this is straight, and this is swivel. Okay, you get it? Any more questions since we're here about foot technique? Yeah, I really like this pedal. It's the direct drive, the demo drive, bro. It's really, really smooth pedal. The pad touching this, it helps to stay still, but I feel the vibration, you know, so it doesn't really help, you know. The pedal is way more smooth. But anyways, yeah. And like I said, if you try to go up to above 210 BPM, that's the motion you will use. 100%. Okay, so it's not my technique; it's everyone's technique. You know, if you get some information and you see it before you do it, that's great. I wish I did. But if you don't and you just go for speed, you know, then you know you'll still end up in this motion. Merci. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the hand technique now, okay? I play with my wrists mostly, okay? Using a lot of Miller technique, the Miller motion. Okay? Now, the faster I go, the motion is always the same, okay? Always the same. But the faster you go, you have less distance from the head, which is natural. Of course, you can't play super fast and have a motion up here, okay? So, this is slow. And the motion goes down and down and down, okay? This is completely natural. So if you see some drummers playing 300 BPM, you'll be like, you know, they're lower. That's natural, it's okay. Not the tapping drumming. This is a different thing, okay? So, let's analyze some groupings, okay? A free stroke. So, we got the downstroke. If you have groups of 2, you have the downstroke and the upstroke, okay? So, we'll be like this. You know? Like, kind of like by accident, it looks like. Okay, you know, if you think about it, it's one motion, 2 strokes. Triplets, down, tap, up stroke, down stroke, tap, up, down, tap, up. Okay, and 4, 1, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap. Okay, it's never like a, you know, has to be all the way. Even for blasts, for example, this helps. Use Maxence too. But anyways, so to me, this is really, really important to know this. This is a basic lesson, actually. This should be lesson number 1. I understand the motion. Why? Because I think if you want to play fast music, this is where speed comes from, okay? Because the downstroke and, you know, the grouping you have defines the next beat, okay? Does it make sense? For example, if I want to play a fast wheel snare, tone 2, tone 3 crash, it would be like this. Check it out. Okay. Many drummers, of course you have to push, you know, it's fast, so it's always like, you know. Many drummers think a lot about what happens in between. So they think like a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Okay? So they overthinking the 60 notes, like try to hear every note, okay? For me, it's the beat that counts, because the beat, like, so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to lock the beat, okay? So that motion will help me to lock the beat, which is really important. And the beat can be a different drum, for example. So instead of thinking all these notes, I'm thinking, okay? And if it gets faster and more complicated, then I'm thinking, does it make sense? So, when I started playing drums, I was thinking 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. So I was thinking like 17 hits. Then I was thinking 4. Now I'm thinking 2. Get in, get out. Okay, that's a really important thing. Get out means land on the 1 on the next, you know, 4-bar phrase or something. So, for example, getting in, whatever, you know, getting out. Okay? So this is really important, you know, because you're thinking less, you know, I call these the checkpoints, some little markers, okay? So if you have 16 markers in one bar, okay, in 4 beats, 16 markers, I have 2, actually 1, getting in and then just get out. Okay, so it makes your thinking a little bit more smooth and, you know, not putting too much in your brain. Does it make sense? Okay, yes?
Do you do the same with the blast beats, like getting in?
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely, yeah. Pretty much with everything. Now here's an example you can do when you go home. Get a Nile riff, which, you know, they're very complicated, so, you know, but anyways, get a very busy riff and play, let's say, we play a bomb blast, okay? Okay? And try to go with riff. The riff can be like, you know, and you play a bomb blast. So. If you have a guitar player friend, or you can write some guitars, write something really complicated and play with it. Then play another riff, which will be you know, something really crunchy and slow. Okay, so we okay, or so there were like 5 notes. Same pattern, same tempo, different riff. You will see the difference. When the riff is simple, it feels slower. When the riff is complicated, it feels super fast. Okay? So you have more data in your brain, and you try to analyze, you know, so I try just not to think about this, think about the beat. Okay? So whatever my guitar players play, and usually it's super, super complicated. I'm thinking like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, not counting, okay? Listen to the riff, but as a whole. Does it make sense? I guess this is the next step, because, you know, I play with this band for so many years, so maybe it's the next step. But thinking about, like I said, the getting in, staying locked, my right side, which I will explain right now, and then getting out. And the riff doesn't affect me, but in the beginning it felt really, really difficult, and some songs just felt like really easy. Although it was the same pattern like some other songs, same thing, same speed. I was like, what the hell is going on? You know, why? So now I know it's less input, less data in your brain, okay? So same thing with the fills. It really, really matters what you do here. It really matters, okay? But what really matters the most is to land on the one. I'll try to give you an example. Okay. Here's a funk song. I'm just going to give you a beat example, okay? Okay, think about 2 versions. The first drummer is thinking about what he's doing in the song, okay? This is really important. He's overthinking, like, oh yeah, 16s, and I'm going to go tone 2, tone 3, splash, and, you know. So he's looking here. The other drummer thinks about the 1, okay? So, got that? so I hear music from up front. But anyways, the main point is like, okay, you might drop the stick, you know, you might do something complicated, you know, whatever, but the one is what really counts, because if you lose the one, you are, you know, it's gonna be really, you know, obvious to everybody. So, of course it matters to be clean, that, you know, whatever you do, and how much you shred, or, you know, how easy you play, you know, or how heavy, it depends. But what really counts for me is to lock the band on the one. And that's my job. I'm a drummer. So when you're a drummer, you know, what's your job? To give time to the music, you know, to the band. So we can all play together and, you know, play something in time. So it's very important. Anyways, any other question? Yes?
Can you describe your bone blast?
The bone blast?
Yeah, with the right hand on the snare.
Okay, there are many kinds of bone blast, but this is a traditional one. And for me, I don't really use the variations, you know, like the blast beat is the traditional one and the bone blast is the traditional one. So it's a unison 6-note pattern, like 16ths. Okay, but together. Now this is on the beat, and this is off the beat. Okay, so really slow sound like this. That was on the one. Okay, so yeah, very easy, very easy. The blast beat is a classic one, you know, right hand, right foot, and, you know, left hand in between the beat, so. So variations, my variations will be maybe syncopated. Now this is, you know, for a guy who plays blast beats, for any drummer who plays blast beats, the most difficult thing is to take the right hand out, because everybody's leading with the right cymbal, and so everybody's like, to lock the blast beat. I use my foot to do that. So, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? It's a cool exercise, actually. It's a really cool exercise. And backstage we're doing some alternate hands as well, you know. For example, you can play the down version. And alternate singing. Few ideas. More questions? I have a question. Where's my beer? Yeah, I'm not really that much into beer, but actually I am. I guess I am. So, anyways, any more questions in general? Something for the band? I would ask, why are you not coming to Moons? I don't know. The tour agency. You know, probably, you know, do you guys get shows here, like, many, or they all go to Brussels? Here, metal shows here? No?
Not so much.
Yeah, well, I don't feel sorry for you, because in 1 hour you can see any band you want. In Greece, for us, we were watching a show per year, maybe. Sepultura next year, maybe Creator. Yeah, bring it today. Talk about educating people. Salut. Enchanté. Not salut. Too much traveling. Anyways, so yeah, you guys in an hour, you know, an hour and a half, you can watch Metallica, watch all these bands. For us back home, especially back in like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was, you know, we really wanted to go to shows, you know. Because now I don't go to shows so much. Yeah, I mean, you know, we tour so much, so I get so much metal, you know. We tour 5 bands together, so I listen to 5 bands, well, 4 plus mine, every night. And then, you know, another tour, another tour, another tour. So, you know, when some shows happening in Greece, I prefer to stay home and play some other stuff, you know. Anyways, sometimes I will go and watch some friends, but, you know, not very often. Yeah. So, how much time do we have? Yeah. 10 people, okay. So we have time for a couple more songs and maybe a couple questions if you guys have. Yeah, I'm gonna play one more song and then I'll give you, you know, 1 or 2 questions. And then you go, after, actually I will tell you later. So let's play some music. Do we have any questions? I'm going to play the last song and then... Yes.
How do you choose the size of your drums and your cymbals?
Yeah.
How do you choose the size of the kids?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Actually, I know. Okay, I want 4 tones, so I go for 8, 12, 13, 8, 10, 12, 13. I would like to have a 14 here, so I go like up every 2 inches, you know, like 8, 10, 12, 14. It's easier to tune, you know, then 16 and 18, but now I'm 14 and 16. But if I had a 14 here, it would be very difficult to, you know, we'll get wider and taller, you know, the whole setup. So I had to use, I used to have 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13, 14. But I switched to 8 because, you know, the kit the area that you have to play super fast, you know, it's a little bit more narrow, you know, so I think it helps a lot. That's one thing. And I love actually the tone, you know, from the 8. The 13 is always the, you know, the most difficult tone to tune because it has 1 inch difference than the previous and the floor tone, the next one. So it's always a little bit tricky, but like I said, it's a matter of setting up, and I can't really go with bigger drums or even smaller, like 6, 8, 10, you know. Too small here, especially with these big mics today. Yeah, it's very tricky. Anyways, so that's with the drums. Now with the cymbals, I wanted 2 main crashes in the center, not in the center, you know, in front of me, and I like big crashes, but not too big, because then you have to hit way harder, so it takes a lot more energy out of you. So I think 17 is already too much if you play them as often as I do. And then for here, because you know sometimes you might play something like a. So I want something a little bit bigger, like heavier, you know. So I use the 18, and there is another 18, you know, when you're ending the fills, you know, and that's actually a kind of like a more trashy, you know, the AXO zone. And same with the chinas, you know. Here I do a lot of phrasing, you know, when I'm blasting, you know. So I like to do a lot of not exactly phrasing, I would say accents, because that's where, you know, the pulse is, in my opinion, the groove, okay? So the pulse can be this, okay, like, will be the kick, but to me this, sometimes it's really boring, so. And because I have the ability to play the blast beat without the right hand, so I'm going to play a little bit quieter. So it's instant groove, in my opinion. So instead of having like a you know, over and over again, yeah, until you know. So it's, for me, this is how you groove a blast beat. And this is why I need 2 chinas here, and same with the bone blast. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. This is why I always say to everybody, my kit is not too big, you know, it's not that big. Like 3 crashes, because obviously you need some different sounds, you know, like you can't really play 2 crashes only. So I needed the 3rd one to drive sometimes. There's another one because if I finish here, you know, coming here will be extra energy. So I needed another one here. 2 chinas here for phrasing, accents, and 2 chinas here, a little bit smaller, because I use them with the left hand, so I wanted to cut through a little bit more.
What is the size of the china?
14, 17, 18, 19. And 2 right cymbals for, again for some, you know, some pepper and salt, you know, when you play some grooves, you know. So stuff like this. Also, like, I always love the ride on the left side, although it's pretty big. Like it's a really pain in the ass to set up every time, and you know, on the same spot, especially if you don't have locks, you know, on your drum set. But I like having it here, so I got used to it. And then of course 3 splashes where I have space. I would love to have more splashes and more stacks, but you know, there's no space. There's no space. And back home I get some extra singles. I got an extra floor tom actually here. I got there's a stack under my hi-hat. There's another one here. Like some extra singles for and extra pedals. I got a foot snare. I got an electronic kick on this side. So it's like a little pad, and I got the pedal mounted on. So when you play something, and you want something more traditional, and I have a bebop kick, like oh, you know, it's really funny. So I use it a lot for sessions. Same with the foot snare and some percussion, but mainly this is my kit for Nile. So it's not that big. If I really wanted to make it bigger and more impressive, I will have 2 crashes here. The china is over here, and another 2 here. I mean, there's so much stuff you could do, you know, to make the drum set look more badass, you know, but this is really necessary stuff, and I use all of it. Yeah, yeah, and very expensive. So big thanks to Pearl again for, you know, it's a big honor actually to be with Pearl drums, because I've been playing drums, playing Pearl drums since I started playing drums. So, you know, then after many years, I ended up to be official with the company, and here I'm, you know, because of Pearl, and it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have money to afford all these. Yeah, because I have 3 drum sets, it's not one. One in the States, one here, you know, one in the studio, so it's a lot of stuff. And probably, in order to afford these, as a poor musician, I'm a poor musician, so if I had to buy 3 drum sets, probably I would have to sell my Ferrari. I'm very poor. You know, I don't have gas for my Ferrari. Have you heard that? My Lamborghini, you know, gas is too expensive now. So, anyways, okay, I'm gonna play a last song, and then if you guys want some pictures or some signing, you know, I'm gonna be here available. Have a beer, you know, some chat, and. Big thanks to Omega Music and Pearl for bringing me here one more time. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again very soon. Okay? Thanks for coming, guys. Really, really appreciate it.